towards the move of God, as there's a progression towards the things of God, towards the fresh new move of the Spirit, as there's a speeding up of the people, as there's a speeding up of the bride, to want to enter in, to want to enter into the things of the Spirit, to want to enter into the move of God, to want to enter into the fresh new move of the Holy Spirit. We're going to see a speeding up of events. We're going to see a speeding up of the people, a speeding up of the bride, to want to get through the very gates. They want to get through to the very gates, the very inner gates, the very inner gates of the courtyard, the very inner gates of the temple, the north gate, the south gate, the west gate, the east gate. A very speeding up of the bride of Christ, of the people of the church, to want to enter in, to want to enter into the very move of God, the very and fresh, unanticipated move of the Holy Spirit, not knowing what to expect. Very desire to want to get through the gates of the inner courtyard, to get through the gates of the very inner temple, very speeding up of the people, very speeding up of the situation, very narrowing of the way, a very narrowing of the way. And a very narrowing of the situation as the church, as the bride enters in, as the church enters in, as the church starts to enter in, as this church starts to anticipate with full expectancy the full unmanifesting, unveiling presence, full glory of God, rolling in, barreling in upon the horizon, across the horizon, a very speeding up of events, very speeding up of the bride, of the church, of the people to want to get into the inner courts, the inner gates of the temple, to participate, not to be left out. Not to be left out, not to be caught without oil, not to be caught without oil in their lamps, lest they be locked out, lest they be closed out, lest they be left out in the darkness, lest they be left out, lest they be locked out, outside. Very need to get in, very need to get in while there's still time. And as we read in the very book of Zechariah, the very book of Zechariah chapter 6, 4 chariots, and I looked up again and there were before me 4 chariots coming from between 2 mountains of bronze. The first chariot had red horses, the second black, the third white, and the fourth dappled, all of them powerful. And I asked the angel who was speaking to me, "What are these, my Lord?" And the angel answered me, "These are the 4 spirits of heaven, going out from standing in the presence of the Lord of the whole world. The one with the black horses is going toward the north country, and the one with the white horses toward the west, and the one with the dappled horses towards the south. And when the horses went out, they were straining to go throughout the earth." And he said, "Go throughout the earth." So they went throughout the earth. And then he called to me, "Look, those going toward the north country have given my spirit rest in the land of the north." And God is wanting to give his very spirit, his very Holy Spirit, the very Spirit of the living God. He's wanting to give his Holy Spirit rest in our very land, in our very territory, in our very territories of the church, very keys of the kingdom, very keys of his houses of habitation. He's wanting to give us rest, very fulfillment of the promise of the Holy Spirit. He's wanting to give his Holy Spirit rest within our very places, within our very temples of habitation. The Holy Spirit is looking for a place of rest. The Holy Spirit is looking for a place of habitation within his temples of his people, within his temples of his habitation, within the houses of God. A very speeding up of events that we're going to be seeing in the life of the church, very speeding up of events as the people anxiously anticipate, anxiously try to get through the gates of the inner courtyard, through the gates of the inner temple, into the inner courts. As the Holy Spirit starts to take up habitation, as the Holy Spirit starts to take up habitation, as the Holy Spirit starts to take up rest, his resting place, occupation of the very temples. This very hour, in this very day and age, in this very hour that we are moving in, imperative that we get in through the gates of the temple, that we get into the inner courts of the courtyards of God, the courtyards of the Holy Spirit, lest we miss out on the very unveiling, the very manifestation of the things of the Spirit, the very manifestation of the fresh new move of God in the earth today, right now, at this very time, at this very hour, right now that we're moving in. Very move of God, unanticipated, very move of God right now. Very anxiousness on behalf of the church worldwide right now, very anxiousness on behalf of the church worldwide right now, anxiousness for not knowing what is going on, not knowing what is going on in the church. Fear of being left out, fear of not knowing what the Spirit is doing, fear as to not being in alignment with the very heartbeat of God, with the very heartbeat of the Holy Spirit right now. Mark my words. Mark my words.